today we're doing a 2002 Ford Escape. We're doing the alternator. So first things first, when you're doing an alternator, you want to unplug the negative terminal on the battery, so there is no power going through that line. Then you want to take your serpentine belt removal tool, move the tensioner back like that, and take your belt off. Already got my belt off now. Then you want to pop off your bolt cover, lug nut cover. Because the alternator is deep down in there in the back. There we go. Then take off your lug nuts. Grab your coat if it's starting to rain. Then you want to take off these bolts right here, which are some 10 millimeters for the plastic splash guard. There's actually two more bolts to remove for the splash guard. Then you want to get the 13 millimeter bolts from the bottom off. There's one right there, and there's one on the other side right there. They're right next to each other. They're both 13s. And there's another 13 on the top back end. Okay, so for the top side, we're going to need to move a lot of that stuff out of our way to get that alternator through the top, because we're not going to pull it through the bottom, because I don't feel like taking off the CV axle and doing all that. I don't even have a 32 millimeter socket, so yeah, we're gonna go through the top way. So to do this, you want to start off by taking off your computer, which is right there. There's two, I think 8 millimeters holding that in, and then a 10 millimeter ground. You want to take those out next. Alright, once you get your bolts removed, go ahead and take out the computer. Hold on. Then you want to disconnect this 8 millimeter and this 8 millimeter. You got to disconnect that first to get the computer out. You also want to disconnect this tube and this tube for your vacuum booster. Okay, then once you get your computer system out, you're gonna have to take off this vacuum booster hose. Let's zoom out. This hose right here connects right here. So take that off. This is the middle hose. Take that off, which connects to this back little vacuum siphon, whatever the fuck that is. And then it looks like there's two 10 millimeters holding those in. There might even be 3. So we can get that out. Okay, I got the back 13 bolt cracked loose. There's another 13 up top up here. But the only way to get to it is to remove this plastic splash guard out of your way, which is being held in with a couple pop-in rivets. You can just pop them out with a flathead screwdriver. They're on the back side right here. I think there's 2 spots where they're clipped in. I can't feel it right now. One, 2, yep. And then on the very top of it, I think it's being held in with the bolt. There's the 3rd bolt right there. 13 millimeter. Once you get this plastic splash guard out of your way, you should be able to reach it with a swivel. Okay, as you guys can see, I got the swivel on there. That's the angle I got. Now let's try it. Okay, after breaking 3 of my sockets, just to show you guys, after breaking these, I was finally able, 3 13 millimeter sockets, after breaking 3 of those, I was finally able to get it done with my 4th 13 millimeter socket. It's finally coming loose. Let me show you guys. You can see the whole alternator moving now as I loosen it. So yeah, this thing is pretty much loose. After I get this 3rd bolt out, it'll be completely loose besides the electrical connections. And that's what I'll work on disconnecting next. Then we're going to bring the alternator from the top of the vehicle. We're bringing it out from the top of the vehicle, not the bottom. Alright, now what needs to happen, I turn the alternator sideways so we can have better access to that 10 millimeter bolt holding the ground wire on. And we also need to pop that rivet through the flathead, which I'm about to do right now. Okay, now once you get the ground off, getting that clip back there off is pretty hard. You're not going to be able to just squeeze it with your finger and slide it off like how it should be, because that's not how life is. When you do things, it's never as easy as it looks. But we're going to make this shit easy. So the way we're going to do this is, okay, so let me show you guys how I did that. I put some needle nose pliers in there, but they got to be the angled ones. The 45-degree angled needle nose pliers. I put them in there like this. I got it to grip on the side of that clip. And then I just pinched and pulled down. And then it got it that far down. Okay, we got the alternator at the top of the engine. It's wedged in there. It will not come out no matter what I try. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a difficult process. It's not going to be easy, just to let you guys know. I feel like if this wasn't here, this plastic piece, the valve cover, it would come right out. But I'm not, we don't have that type of clearance, and I'm not taking off the valve cover just to get that out. Like, that's just doing too much. Way too much. I'm not doing that. So we're gonna keep on working at it till this shit, I'm almost thinking about loosening up this left engine mount. I think if I loosen that up, that'll give us some slack. That'll make this side of the engine drop down a little bit, and this side will be sitting higher, which is exactly what we need. So I'm gonna try that right now. Okay, after loosening up the engine mounts, the engine mount on the left side, I was able to get it out, man. We got the shit out. The spin, it still spins. It honestly doesn't look that bad. But it has to be bad because it's not keeping the battery charged. So, here's the new one. And it just goes back in. So that's the right one. Okay. Once you get your new alternator plugged in, make sure to tighten down your ground bolt. Don't forget to do that. And then all you gotta do is start putting the long bolts in and start reconnecting everything back up. So once you got your anti-seize on, go ahead and put it in. Whoa. We back to normal. All I did was take this throttle cable off of this bracket, and that loosened up the tension on the throttle body plate, and we're back to normal.